Have you ever felt that your kindness goes unnoticed, or worse, is taken for granted? If so, you're not alone. In our world, genuine generosity often remains unseen or meets indifference. We were raised to put others' needs above our own. Since childhood, we've been told share, help, give. And so we grew up full of desire to do good. But what if our responsiveness turns against us? What if people start perceiving us as an inexhaustible source of help and support? In the modern world, this is a harsh truth. Sometimes, the more we give, the less we receive. And it's not just about time or money, but also about our energy and peace of mind. Stoicism teaches us balance and self-preservation, but we often find ourselves overextended. Today, we will uncover the dangers of excessive kindness and find the golden mean together. We will explore 10 dangerous consequences of excessive kindness and 4 Stoic principles that will help achieve harmony. So if you've ever felt your help isn't appreciated, this video is for you. Excessive kindness can make you appear weak. Stoicism teaches us inner strength and self-restraint. But here's the catch. If you always help everyone, you can create the wrong impression. There is a certain complexity in balancing help and excessive kindness that can lead to misperception. Imagine this situation. You're always ready to help, but eventually others see you as someone they can dump responsibilities on. This can create an impression of weakness, and people may stop valuing your contribution. But here's the key. Start saying no firmly but politely. Imagine yourself as someone who respects their time and values themselves. When you set boundaries, it changes how others perceive you. You no longer become just the person who's ready for anything. You become someone who deserves respect. Saying no is not just a refusal. It's an important statement of your significance. It's a sign of inner strength, not weakness. So next time you're tempted to say yes, when inside you want to say no, remember this. Stand your ground. It's a necessary declaration of your strength and value.
Unrealistic expectations can lead to disappointment. Here's a Stoic truth. Happiness should not depend on the actions of others. When you give without expectations, it prevents disappointment and helps maintain emotional resilience. But let's be realistic. It's difficult. You show generosity deep down, hoping people will reciprocate. You want them to see and appreciate what you do. But what if they don't? This is where we get burned by our expectations. Think about it. You always take responsibility, do favors, and help. Naturally, you expect others to do their part, right? But when they don't, it hurts. In the end, you feel drained, irritated, and disappointed. All people are different. Stoicism reminds us of a harsh truth. We cannot control the actions of others. Expect nothing in return. Give without any obligations. You gain inner freedom. Try to discard these expectations. Don't expect gratitude or a favor in return. The true value lies in the act of helping itself, not in what you receive back. This mindset will allow you to remain calm no matter what happens on your path. Giving too much attracts the wrong people. Here's the Stoic perspective. The vibes you emit attract people of a similar type. When you are positive and balanced, you attract generous and genuine people. But if you constantly give non-stop to the point of exhaustion, you know what happens? You attract people who primarily seek to take what they can get. Imagine you're a person who never says no.
You're always there, always ready to help. Sounds great, right? But soon you notice that people around you don't want to give back. They just take. Worse, you might even attract those who will exploit you. Know your limits. You need to be able to notice when you're overdoing it. When you do this, you preserve your energy and attract the right type of people. Those who value what you offer and are willing to give back. Think of it as a two-way street. You want to be around people who respect you and what you bring. Set boundaries, but don't let this make you harsh. This way, you build relationships based on mutual respect and genuine connection, not just one-sided giving. This is the Stoic path. Balanced, respectful, and authentic. Losing yourself for the needs of others. Stoic wisdom says, when you are constantly busy with other people's problems, you might be avoiding your own internal struggles. By constantly serving others, you lose connection with yourself. Your own voice gets lost in the noise of others' demands. And then, when you finally have a quiet moment, all the fear and pain you were running from comes back. True self-care lies in tending to your own needs. It's about preserving our essence, setting boundaries, and exploring our own path. This isn't just good for us. It's the key to an authentic life. So, next time you feel the urge to bury yourself in others' problems, stop for a second. Confront those difficult feelings face to face. Be true to what you really need and want. You will see that by respecting your own boundaries, you will be in a much better position to help others in a healthy and balanced way.
The trap of constant giving. Stoic philosophy values moderation, especially when it comes to giving. It's like steering a ship in a sea of endless demands. When you give too much and too easily, expecting nothing in return, it might seem pleasant, but it's a slippery slope. Here's the thing. People naturally gravitate towards what's easy. If you always take responsibility and solve problems, you essentially allow others to stay in their comfort zone. They don't feel the need to step up and take responsibility, not only for their sake, but for yours too. In the end, you take on a burden that isn't yours, and this can drain your energy and emotional state. Stoicism teaches us to find balance, to give, but not so much that we lose ourselves in the process. When you start setting boundaries and slowing down a bit, something interesting happens. Those who relied on you start taking responsibility for their own things. This is good for both of them, and you. A powerful quote from Seneca perfectly reflects this idea. True generosity is giving what is needed, not just what is asked for. This quote reminds us that sometimes the greatest gift we can give is not to fulfill every request, but to give others the opportunity to meet their own needs. It is in this balance that we find the essence of true generosity. Generosity that enriches all participants, does not deplete us. Take control of your life, and don't get caught in the cycle of constant giving. Remember, it's not just about being generous, but about being wisely generous. This way, you help others without losing yourself.
Excessive kindness can ironically breed suspicion. Stoicism teaches us to live according to our values, regardless of others' opinions. The goal is to follow your principles, creating a sincere and sustainable reputation. However, in a world where genuine kindness is rare, excessive kindness can ironically cause bewilderment. People may begin to doubt your motives. They will ask themselves, why is this person so generous? What's in it for them? It's not necessarily that you've encountered a group of cynical people. Often, it's just a realistic reaction. People are used to seeing kindness with ulterior motives. So when someone appears who strives to give everything and help, it can seem suspicious.
In many cases, they have encountered people who seemed kind but had hidden selfish goals. This experience makes them regard genuine acts of kindness with caution and even skepticism. This doesn't mean you should moderate your generosity. Rather, it's about finding balance. Be kind, but be transparent. Let your actions speak of your honesty. Remember, it's not about seeking approval. It's about being true to your values. Over time, consistent and balanced kindness can break down walls of suspicion, showing the sincerity of your intentions. It is precisely this kind of authenticity that Stoicism advocates, a virtue that withstands the test of time and skepticism.
The risk of falling into dependency. Stoicism warns us of the danger of losing balance in life, especially when it comes to giving. It's all about moderation and self-control. When you give too much, when you are always the one others rely on, it can lead to serious consequences. You might struggle to cope with stress and emotional exhaustion. This is where the risk of dependency creeps in. You might find yourself overeating or perhaps gambling too much, anything to fill the void created by constant giving. The Stoics urge us to listen to loved ones. If a friend or family member expresses concern, it's worth paying attention. We often slip into denial when faced with the possibility of dependency. It's easier to brush off their worries than to acknowledge the problem. But these remarks usually come from a place of care and love. Accepting such feedback is a step towards self-reflection and growth. It's important to remember that those who care for us are not trying to criticize or judge. They care. Taking their concerns seriously is a way of respecting yourself and your path to a balanced life. This is the practice of Stoicism in real life, using moderation and self-control to avoid harmful behaviors that can damage our health and happiness. Ultimately, recognizing and addressing these risks is a sign of strength. It demonstrates a commitment to your own well-being in accordance with Stoic principles of balance and self-examination.
Overcoming problems related to unbalanced relationships. Imagine you are the person everyone relies on when they're in a tight spot. It feels nice to be needed, right? But then you start noticing you're not on the guest list for weekend dinners or casual hangouts. You help them in tough times, but when it comes to sharing laughter and good memories, you're left out. As if you're good enough to lend a hand, but not to share a smile. This realization can hurt. You're not just a helper, you're a person who also seeks fun and connection. This is a common scenario. People often categorize others based on what they provide. You get labeled as the helper, and as a result, you miss the opportunity to become an equal friend. This situation isn't just unfair, it's a wake-up call. You start wondering, am I valued for who I am, or only for what I can do for others? Now let's consider the Stoic approach. Stoicism isn't the absence of emotions, it's understanding human nature and wise behavior. This situation is a chance to reassess your relationships. It tests your ability to distinguish who values you as a person and who sees you as a means to an end. It's difficult, but important. You learn to identify genuine friendship and distance yourself from one-sided relationships. Furthermore, Stoicism prompts us to reflect on our role in this dynamic. Do we support this pattern? By expressing our own needs and desires in friendships, setting boundaries, and expressing our own needs, we invite more authentic connections into our lives. We start attracting people who value us for our entire being, not just our willingness to help. This approach not only aligns with Stoic principles, but also leads to more fulfilling and balanced relationships.
The lack of reasonable boundaries with loved ones.
Stoic wisdom teaches us to establish reasonable boundaries in all areas of life, including relationships with loved ones, family, and friends. It's hardest to say no to them. We fear hurting a dear person or appearing callous. Aren't these relationships based on trust and care? But here's what Stoicism says. True care is not boundless self-sacrifice, but the ability to value your own strength and resources. It's about knowing your limits. And then one day, you realize your own needs are pushed aside. As Seneca said, help given to friends should have its limits, otherwise we ourselves will need friends. The key point is not to go to extremes. It's not about refusing help altogether. It's about learning to lovingly but firmly set your boundaries. You can promise less, but what is feasible for you. Or if a relative wants you to help with renovations all week, explain that you can dedicate the weekend to it. The main thing is to communicate your position calmly and respectfully. There is no need to feel guilt or shame. After all, isn't it better to help a little less, but from the heart, than out of duty and resentment? As Marcus Aurelius said, it is better to refuse when you can give than to give and then regret and hate. Practice this skill gradually. Start by saying no to small or non-urgent requests. Over time, you will feel more confident to set boundaries in serious matters. Most importantly, act from the heart. And remember that self-care is also an act of love for yourself. Your loved ones might be offended or not understand you at first, but if these relationships are genuine and mature, they will evolve into relationships where needs are understood and respected. This is the manifestation of genuine Stoic wisdom in interpersonal connection.
Undervaluing personal time. One of the greatest gifts given to us by life is time. However, in the hustle and bustle of everyday life and the constant striving to be everywhere, we forget the teaching about careful handling of time and its wise use. In our era of constant running, it's easy to fall into the trap of endless obligations. We respond to every request, agree to unnecessary meetings, and as a result, discover that real life is passing us by. As Seneca said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Ask yourself, is this worth my time and attention? Learn to value your hours and minutes just as you value money. Spent time cannot be returned. Refuse secondary matters in favor of what truly matters in your life. Life is short, and no one knows how much time is allotted to us. Therefore, value every day and hour. Fill them with deep meaning. Don't squander them on trifles. Then you'll be able to say with Seneca, I have lost no day. This is the genuinely Stoic approach to time as the greatest gift of life.
Mastering the art of saying no. For a balanced life, Stoic philosophy views time and energy as our most valuable resources. It advocates for conscious and balanced distribution of these resources. This is where the power of no comes into play. Saying no is not just a refusal, it is a declaration of self-respect and an acknowledgement of your boundaries. It's the understanding that not every request or demand deserves your yes. Many of us are accustomed to perceiving no negatively, leading us to overburden ourselves and agree to things that leave us overwhelmed or resentful. Saying no is not pessimism, it's practical wisdom. It's protecting your well-being and concentrating your efforts where they matter most. Start by practicing saying no in low-stakes situations. Understand that every time you say no, it's not just denying a request. You're making a choice about how to live your life. You are defending your time and your energy. This isn't selfishness, it's self-preservation. Remember, the ability to say no is a skill that needs developing. Initially, it might feel uncomfortable,
But with practice, it becomes a powerful tool for maintaining balance in your life. By mastering the art of saying no, you reclaim your freedom and protect yourself from overload or exploitation. It is a fundamental step towards a life aligned with your values and priorities.
Strategy. Self-reflection. In Stoicism, self-reflection is the cornerstone. It's about understanding your emotions and reactions, which is crucial for maintaining balance. The strategy is to listen to your feelings, which signal whether you're giving too much. The Stoics didn't suppress emotions. On the contrary, they encouraged their deep understanding. Start by observing how you feel when you help others. Ideally, generosity should bring a feeling of satisfaction and joy, a feeling akin to walking on clouds. But if helping leaves you feeling drained, resentful, or exploited, it's a signal that something is wrong. These feelings are your internal compass. They tell you when it's time to revise your boundaries. If you consistently experience negative emotions after helping someone, it's a sign that the act of giving costs you more than it should. To implement this strategy, create moments of reflection after helping someone. Ask yourself, what do I feel right now? Am I energized or drained? Do I feel valued or used? This self-reflection isn't about guilt or self-condemnation, it's honest self-assessment. Acknowledging and respecting your feelings isn't selfishness, it's a form of self-care. By listening to your emotions, you can adjust your giving patterns. This might mean setting limits, saying no more often, or being more selective about who you help and how. The Stoic approach to self-reflection will help you find the balance between helping others and caring for yourself.
Strategy. Beware of energy vampires. In Stoicism, discernment and self-discipline are key virtues, especially when it comes to relationships. Identifying and distancing yourself from those who drain your energy, so-called energy vampires, is crucial. These are people after interacting with whom you consistently feel drained, overwhelmed, and emotionally exhausted. Energy vampires are often characterized by endless complaints, pessimism, and a tendency to exaggerate problems. Their presence can significantly deplete your mental and emotional reserves. The Stoic approach to such relationships isn't about harshness, but wise discernment. It involves recognizing that some people, no matter how hard you try to help them, may not change or benefit from your support. They aren't necessarily bad people, but their influence on your well-being can be extremely negative. It's important to set firm boundaries with such people. If you consistently feel worse after interacting with someone, that's a sign the relationship needs reassessment. This doesn't mean you need to abruptly cut off contact or become indifferent to their problems. On the contrary, you need to limit your exposure to their negativity and protect your own emotional health. In practice, this could mean setting limits on the time you spend with them, the type of support you offer, or even ending the relationship if necessary. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control other people, only our reactions to them. By choosing where and with whom to invest your energy, you demonstrate self-respect and wisdom. This strategy is vital to preserving your inner resources for what truly matters.
Strategy. Prioritize self-care. Self-respect is paramount. This strategy is based on the importance of allocating time and space for yourself. It's about setting aside time for activities that bring you joy and relaxation, whether it's yoga, drawing, or simply a cup of tea with music. These moments are vital for your well-being. Treat this self-care time as an appointment with yourself, just as important as any other commitment in your schedule. Make it a priority to fulfill your obligations efficiently so you can dedicate time to these rejuvenating activities. It is crucial to take this practice seriously, planning it regularly, whether daily or weekly. And now, the most important thing. If someone asks for help during this time, remember your commitment to yourself. It's okay to say no. This isn't about not wanting to cooperate or not caring. It's about respecting your own needs. You can be polite but firm, explaining that you have a prior commitment to yourself. If you wish to help, offer assistance at another time, but make it clear that your availability has its limits. Remember that according to Stoic principles, maintaining your inner balance and well-being is essential for living virtuously and effectively. Respecting your self-care time is a powerful act of self-respect. Such an approach will help you maintain a healthy balance between helping others and caring for your own needs.
Stoic wisdom teaches us that balance is key in all aspects of life, and generosity is no exception. If we give too little, we may seem selfish and stingy. But if we give too much, we risk depleting ourselves. True generosity lies in finding the golden mean between helping others and caring for yourself. Always remember, when you're unsure whether to give or not, the word no can be your greatest ally. If you found value in our video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment. May your path be stoic and filled with wisdom. Until next time.